Welcome to SpeakEasy English Podcast, where English becomes simple.
If you can understand every part of this story, you are no longer a beginner. You are not even an intermediate learner. You are advanced, because what you're about to hear isn't just English. It's emotion. It's real life. It's a journey that will touch your heart and remind you why you started learning English in the first place. Hi, I'm Kate, and welcome to SpeakEasy English Podcast. Today, I'll tell you an inspiring story about a young man named Omar from Cairo, Egypt, who had nothing, no money, no teachers, no perfect tools, but one powerful dream: to learn English and change his life. Through patience, faith, and unstoppable effort, Omar went from watching English videos in a noisy cafe to standing in New York City, speaking English confidently, the same language that once felt impossible to learn. This is his story. A story of transformation, courage, and hope. Listen carefully, and by the end of this episode, you'll not only understand his journey, you'll feel like it's yours too. Omar was born in Cairo, Egypt, in one of those neighborhoods where every sound has a story. The call to prayer at dawn, the street vendors shouting prices, the laughter of children echoing through narrow alleys. His family lived in a small apartment on the third floor of an old beige building. The paint was peeling, the lights flickered often, but the place was always filled with the smell of bread his mother baked every morning. His father worked long hours fixing bicycles. His mother sold bread and olives at a street market, while Omar helped his younger sisters with homework before bed. He was curious, always listening, always observing. He loved watching American movies on an old TV with broken subtitles. Sometimes he understood a few words: hello, thank you, good job. But most of the time it all sounded like music. Beautiful, fast, mysterious. He dreamed of one day speaking like those actors. He wanted to understand their world, not just the words, but the freedom, the confidence, the possibilities behind them. But in Cairo, dreams like that felt too far away. Language schools were expensive. Private teachers charged more than his father earned in a week. So Omar made a silent promise to himself. If no one would teach him, he would find a way to teach himself. He didn't know how. He didn't know where to start. But he knew why he had to try, because English for him was not just a language. It was a door to a life beyond the one he knew. Omar began his English journey with nothing but a cheap phone, a pair of broken earphones, and a dream that kept him awake at night. He started watching free lessons on YouTube. At first, everything sounded impossible. The pronunciation, the rhythm, the strange grammar rules. Native speakers spoke so fast, it felt like listening to wind instead of words. But he didn't stop. Every night after helping his sisters with homework, he went to the small rooftop above his apartment. He sat under the Cairo moonlight and repeated every word he could remember. He whispered sentences to himself. I can do this. I will not give up. He watched the same videos again and again, writing words on old notebook pages he found in the trash. He didn't have a dictionary, so he wrote small translations on the side of the page using his mother's old pen. Some nights, the electricity went out, so he learned by candlelight, listening to downloaded lessons until his phone battery died. His friends made fun of him. "Come on, Omar," they said. "No one from here learns English like that." Even his father said, "Son, focus on something real." But Omar smiled quietly and said, "Maybe one day, you'll see." He made mistakes, hundreds of them. He mispronounced words, forgot phrases, mixed tenses. But each mistake was a small victory, because it meant he was still learning, still fighting. Omar didn't just learn English. He learned discipline. He learned patience. And he learned that even when the world doesn't believe in you, you can still believe in yourself. Years passed, and Omar's English started to sound more natural. He no longer had to translate everything in his head. He could think in English. He could write essays, understand podcasts, and even chat with foreigners online. But inside, he still felt small, a boy from Cairo with big dreams and no opportunities. Until one night, something extraordinary happened. While scrolling through YouTube comments, he saw a link from an American teacher offering a free online English challenge. Learn English in 30 days. Record your voice daily and share your progress, the post said. Omar joined immediately. Every day for a month, he recorded himself speaking English, introducing himself, describing his city, talking about his goals. At first, his voice trembled. His pronunciation was rough. But little by little, confidence grew. One evening, the teacher, impressed by Omar's progress, sent him a message. "You have potential. Keep going. You learn faster than you think." Those words changed everything. Omar decided to take a huge risk. He applied for a scholarship program that sent students from developing countries to study abroad in the United States. He didn't have perfect English. He didn't have fancy certificates. But he had something stronger: perseverance. He filled out every form, wrote every essay, and recorded a heartfelt video explaining why he wanted to study in America. Weeks later, while helping his mother sell bread at the market, his phone vibrated. He opened the email and froze. "Congratulations, Omar. You have been selected for the Global English Scholarship Program." His mother saw the tears in his eyes and thought something was wrong, but he smiled, held her hands, and whispered, "Mom, I'm going to America." That night, for the first time, Omar looked at the sky and whispered in English, "Dreams do come true when you never stop trying." When Omar arrived in New York City, everything felt like a dream. The air was cold, the lights were bright, and everyone moved fast. So fast that he could barely keep up. He still remembered his first day at the university. Students from different countries were speaking perfect English. He felt nervous, lost, and even a little ashamed of his accent. But he reminded himself, "I didn't come this far to stop now." At first, understanding lectures was tough. Professors spoke quickly, using slang and idioms he'd never heard before. But instead of getting discouraged, Omar recorded every class, listened again at night, and took detailed notes. When other students went to parties, Omar went to the library. He watched English podcasts, practiced pronunciation, and spoke to himself out loud until every word felt natural. He started volunteering as a tutor for other international students, helping them learn English through the same techniques he used: YouTube, shadowing, and daily repetition. Little by little, Omar's confidence grew. He joined debates, made presentations, and soon people began asking him, "Where did you learn to speak English so well?" He smiled and answered, "On a rooftop in Cairo, with a phone and a dream." Omar graduated with honors. He got a job at an international company in Boston and started mentoring others who were learning English just like him. He became living proof that no matter where you start, your future is built on the effort you give today. Omar's story spread online. Students from Egypt, India, Brazil, and Ethiopia began following him, writing comments like, "If Omar did it, maybe I can too." And that became his greatest success. Not just speaking English fluently, but inspiring others to believe that they can too. Omar's journey is not just a story. It's a reflection of thousands of learners around the world, people who start with nothing but a dream, a YouTube video, and a strong will to change their lives. If you understood this entire story, let me tell you something powerful. Your English is not beginner anymore. It's not even intermediate. You're already thinking, feeling, and connecting through English. You're advancing, just like Omar did. But remember, English is not only about grammar, vocabulary, or pronunciation. It's about connection. It's about believing that your voice matters and that your story deserves to be told. Omar started with no teachers, no money, and no opportunities. But he had one thing that changed everything: consistency. He didn't study for 10 hours once. He studied for 30 minutes every single day. And that's the secret. The small steps you take today become the big achievements of tomorrow. So, as you listen to this, I want you to remember, your accent doesn't define your intelligence. Your mistakes don't define your potential, and your current level doesn't define your future. Keep going. Keep practicing. Keep speaking, because one day someone will listen to your story and feel the same inspiration you feel right now. You are not just learning English. You are becoming unstoppable. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Kate, and this is SpeakEasy English Podcast. If you felt inspired by Omar's story, please like, share, and subscribe. So together, we can inspire the next generation of English learners around the world. See you in the next episode.